Thank you. So I did my. This is going to be kind of interesting because I did this presentation is kind of built off of audience participation, and there's nobody in the room right now. The reason that is because in the class that I'm just getting out of right now, we had one person present, and he said, "Does anybody else want to present?" And I said, "Well, I got my one for the other class, so I gave that one, so now I'm giving this one today, which is for this class, but whatever." Anyways, it's biometrics, which I think is pretty cool. And here we go. The definition of biometrics is the process by which a person's unique physical and other traits are detected and recorded by an electronic device or system as a means of confirming identity. So my first experience with biometrics was the movie Sneakers. I don't know if many of you remember that movie or not, and now that I think about it, there's a number of you that are quite a bit younger than I am, so I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But it's a movie with Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd, I think, and Ben Kingsley, and River Phoenix. Anyways, it was a great movie. It's about these guys that break into, I think it was banks was their specialty, but they got paid to do it, and it's sort of like penetration testing. They got paid to do it and then expose the flaws and, cash in a legit way, kind of like ethical hacking. So anyways, I thought that was really cool, but I'm blanking here. For the biometrics portion of it, this guy works at a company, and he's a stooge, and they need to get him to say, "Hi, my name is Werner Brandis. My voice is my passport. Verify me." So they're trying to figure out a way to do this, and they end up sending the chick on a date with him to just record these words during dinner. So whatever, it's a good movie. You should see it. But the ethical breaking in portion of it was something that I always thought was really cool. And after blowing my back out with truck driving, this is what I was initially going to go into was computer science. I wasn't sure what, but I always thought that kind of had a cool ring to it. So in a roundabout way, the movie Sneakers is kind of how I'm here-ish, istically. So anyways, I was surprised when I learned all the different types of biometrics. I figured you had your basic three. You had your your retina scan, your fingerprints, and like in Sneakers, the voice. You got to have the voice print. So here's just a list of some of the ones, or of the ones that I found. DNA, which most of us are familiar with. This one kind of surprised me. Ears are very unique. I don't remember if they're absolutely unique like fingerprints or retinas, but they're pretty unique. And then with eyes, I always thought it was just an eye scan, when actually there's two different types of eye scanners. One scans the veins in the back of the eye, and the other one scans the actual pupil. There's also facial recognition software, which, if I remember right, the phone that I had before this one had that on there. It was an option for locking the screen. I never used it. I figured it wouldn't work, or just any fat bearded guy would be able to open my phone. I didn't see the point of that because, whatever. But yeah, facial recognition software, which you also see in. Do you guys remember the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise and I don't remember who else was in it. But anyways, he gets in trouble and he's running, and all of a sudden, they have these scanners everywhere, and his face starts popping up on all these monitors in like an airport or whatever. So yeah, facial recognition. I'm all familiar with fingerprint. I wasn't familiar with finger geometry. It's not just the print, but I mean, you still have, if you look at your fingers, you can see the lines running through them. You can see where the lines are, where your knuckles are. You got the length, width. So I was surprised by that. Gait, which makes sense. Everybody's got a little bit of a different walk to them. Another one is hand geometry, which I was looking online, And the video that I saw for hand geometry or hand scanners had to do with people going to, I believe it was like a Subway type deal. And you ran your hand through, I don't know, you guys remember the Pizzazz pizza oven thing where it had the heater up above the pizza by a few inches? It was something like that, except for instead of a pizza, it's a scanner on the bottom. Excuse me. So they ran their hand through that, and it automatically, debits their account, whatever. But the hand geometry, what it does is it doesn't just get, I was surprised it gets your fingerprints. It also gets the lines running through your palms, and just the width, length, everything. I thought that was pretty cool. This one's weird. I don't know exactly. At one point in time, they were rocking the biometrics for odor, or I don't know. You would think everybody smells differently, unless they have like a smell machine. That's weird. I kind of spent some more time on that just because that's weird and it'd be kind of cool to know, but I didn't. So everyone's SOL. Signature. We've all seen History Channel where Pawn Stars. The guy comes in and he looks for pressure at the different points in the signature. He looks to see if the pen where it's picked up and put back down. Typing was interesting to me. A gal in this class chose biometrics as well, and she really explained it well, but I don't remember exactly what she said. But the idea is your length of stay on the key, the amount of time it takes for you to go to the next key, and there was one other one. Maybe it had something to do with the rhythm, but I think that would have to do with the timing. Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool that you'd be able to, I don't know if you had to have like a keystroke logger or what, but that's pretty interesting. Vein, which I didn't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a vein finder with the wife just giving birth last month. I actually got to see him use a little vein finder on my daughter, which is basically a bright light that comes up through the opposite side of the skin and just illuminates through the skin. And then they brought in one for the wife, and that thing was kind of trippy because it's a pretty good sized machine and it shoots down on your arm, and it almost makes it look like they're laying out for a tattoo, and it looks like a tree's kind of coming up the arm, and they're able to find it that way. And they couldn't explain the technology to me, but it was pretty sick looking. And then voice, which, like I said, we're all relatively familiar with that. Mercedes-Benz has what they call attention assist, which creates a driver profile, and when there's a deviation from it, the system sounds a warning chime and displays a coffee cup icon. I thought that was pretty cool, and I could see where you could take that and in trucks back in 2010, I think it was, is when I first saw semis come out with, they would have a radar on the front of the truck that would catch the speed of the person in front of you, and then in a heads-up display, it would tell you, what speed they're going. And then with that technology, it allowed them to, if you're catching up to that car quicker than you're braking, it takes over and does the emergency braking for you. Between that and if they could add in something like Mercedes attention assist, that's huge, man. Just they do have it to where if you cross the white line, the sound of rumble strips goes off in the truck. But if you could also have a bell or something going off when it notices your eyes are first starting to droop before you actually cross that line, that would be very cool. I'm not going to be surprised if it's really close to being in trucks if it's not already there. Yeah, there's so many opportunities for biometrics. I've personally used it at work for clocking in. Go in and put your thumbprint in, and you're in that way. That was pretty cool. I've also used my thumbprint. We just picked up the new Galaxy S6, and that's got a really good thumbprint scanner on it. So I use that instead of a swipe or a number code to unlock it. And then it seems like there was another one that I've used. There's one bill that I pay over the phone, and they've got it set up to where they recognize my voice. And if you've never done this before, what they do is they'll ask you to say a series of numbers like 3, 7, 6, 9, and then they flip it a little bit, so they'll be like 9, 7, 3, 6, 6, 3, 7, 9, and they just have you go through it for, I don't know, probably almost a full minute. And what it does is it gets the different ways that you enunciate out. But there's so many different ways for biometrics, and I think this is going to be huge moving forward for personal identification. When you're at the store, maybe swipe your card and give a thumbprint, or maybe just a thumbprint or a hand scan, and it's an exciting field. So I would say any questions, but unless you guys are like calling me, which I'm not giving my number, that's just not going to happen. So thank you and stuff. All right, later.